Hey everybody, and welcome back to Jaraci Cup 14. We got a lot of games to cast today. We're gonna start up here with Majiir Paktu versus MarchWaden. Some kind of obligatory "I can smell the sea" kind of reference. You know, you get the idea. MarchWaden's in the chat too. That's fun. He picks Kanev, Majiir picks Galzian. I don't think there's too much of a surprise there, except of course for, you know, a Paktu guy playing Galzian. That does seem a bit surprising. And MarchWaden's going to pick the map to be Firebase Krill. He's really been enjoying this recently. He seems to have done quite a bit of prep on it. Still, he didn't smoke the base runner when he retired it. Oh dear. That ain't good. That ain't good. Anyway, Sandscar Fab for both parties here, but Majiir does not retire the base runner, so a little bit old school from him. And we'll see how this goes. The way the group stage has been shaking up, MarchWaden had taken one game off of A-Game, which is a bit of a surprise. It was a good upset for him. And that puts he and A-Game kind of tied here, as MarchWaden did 2-0 Houston as well, I believe. So, in that case, if Houston wanted to get into the upper bracket, I think we'd have to have some bizarre situation where, like, Majiir, Paktu, and Darth Soban actually, like, topped the group and then Houston beat them or something. Doesn't seem very likely. So MarchWaden is probably guaranteed the upper bracket slot, but he does have to win this game, and A-Game has to beat Majiir as well, but I think those two are kind of expected outcomes. So that's the stakes here. And it looks like it's going to be a Soul Chip Fab coming out from MarchWaden pretty quickly. This scanner here will not be long for the world. Down it goes. But it does give a little bit of scouting info to Majiir, who should know about what's going on. Really nice if you can get that scanner to, like, see the carrier, though, right when the tech pops, but that's usually a little bit more difficult to do. Generally, we haven't been retaining the base runner like this unless we wanted to go ref mode, and then you can drop a scanner out and see what your opponent is doing. But here it doesn't feel terribly useful in the attack. But you never know, maybe he'll be able to make something cool happen with it, but when Assault Chips come out, that makes things a little bit complicated. You can see Sandscreamer Armor for Majiir. This is usually not the pick though, because when your opponent has tech, the Sandscreamer Armor upgrade doesn't feel very good. And you only have one production line, so it's going to be a little tough to make that work. Oh, with a bit of micro, could have killed off one of the skims here. He's going to jump over the hill now with the regen turned on, but I think it's a little bit late, so... Yeah, he actually doesn't win that trade despite base runner heal being turned on, although you can see how effective it is. This guy survives with 43. But this is an assault chip building out of the PC, though. And this is where things are going to get difficult. I have to apologize for me clearing my throat constantly. I'm still a bit sick, but... Armored unit defense is coming out for MarchWaden. You love to see it. Helps against the skims and against the carrier, so it's very effective in assisting this assault chip in making a dive if he wants to. A-Game thinks this is very funny. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty similar game to what he and A-Game had played. Maybe that's what he's referencing. Armor 1 actually looks like it was cancelled, but it gets started up again. I really like having the tech, though, so... Oh, wait, replay said, did I not see it? Oh, yeah, the thing about replays... Yes, that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. Yeah, especially when there's like a salvager just chilling out in the corner of the map. That's what gives me emotional damage. Majiir making a bit of a run by out here, by the way. This is not good though, because so the problem is that like he knows he can't fight the assault chips head on, so he's gonna try and get something done elsewhere. But this is actually a bit of a bait. MarchWaden shouldn't follow it. He can make a dive on this carrier and he can just kill everything. Base runner heal would be nice here. Be really nice here. Oh, doesn't use it though. Things are going down. Majiir will get railguns eventually, so... MarchWaden's on a bit of a timer here, but if he uses these two, yeah, he could have set up a dive and just killed off the entire eco, and then, you know, you got what you came for. That game will be pretty much just over. These skims can deny, like, long-distance mining, but if MarchWaden just powers up the close combat weapons, he should be pretty much fine to keep his base alive. Here's the dive now onto the salvages. You can see that the assault railgun is here, but there's only one of them. In fact, I might just target it with the assault chips, but, I mean, he can kind of do whatever he wants. Yeah, it looks like he is going to do that. Nice carrier block here. Actually, it blocks this assault chip as well. But still, you can see all the salvagers following now. And that should be about all she wrote. You can see on the other side of the map, yes, Salvagers may die here, but actually MarchWaden hasn't noticed it, so he hasn't got the weapons turned on. That's fair enough, he's probably busy microing over on this side. But yeah, it looks like he'll get that set up now. Possibly. We'll go pretty late. I've got a lot of juice, you know. Yeah, power 1 finishes. Actually, that doesn't really do too much for him in this case, but he's gonna get ref mode. This is just because, like, you know, he's definitely won this game, I would say, but it's a situation where, like, you can't actually end it just yet, so... I mean, if I were MarchWaden, maybe I would consider getting Railgun Fab here and then trying to, like, build a heavy and just end the game, but it's a little difficult to do, so... Yeah, Railgun Fab cancels ref mode. Okay, so I guess he'll probably go for it after all. He could have killed PC. Yeah, actually, he probably could take that. That is true. This is allowing Majiir to build up eco a bit faster, but like MarchWaden can still just kill it all with these assault ships. A little surprised he plays this a bit passively here, but like he's so far ahead, it kind of doesn't matter. Like he can do what he wants. If these assault ships are meant to like clear out the skimmers, he really could just use his sand skimmers for this. There's only one left, although it does have armor 1. But yeah, you're not gonna lose that fight. You're right, A-Game. There's a lot of that going on. Seems like especially new players really enjoy playing Conf, which is always a bit surprising to me. Go Bombers, yeah, that'd be pretty hype. Yeah, it's gonna be ref mode, so this game will probably take a little bit longer to finish, but still, like I said, the conclusion is pretty bygone at this point. It's really hard to like come back from a situation where you've gotten your eco wiped. And I think so. Yeah, for those who aren't aware, we discovered randomly that the Conf carrier powers up its system slower than all the other carriers, just for some reason. I don't know. It's just one of these DOK things. Yeah, personally, I think it should be normalized with all the other ones, but... yeah, okay, that's not exactly fair. It's really just him who fouls it, but... because it's a rust bucket. Yeah, maybe there's something thematic to it, right? Like, the thing's practically fallen apart, it's held together with duct tape, you know, they need to power the systems a bit longer than the other carriers. This is what I was saying, by the way. MarchWaden can just kind of come in and wipe out the eco again, so yeah, he is going to do that. Pretty rough, pretty rough. I imagine we'll see some heavy railguns pretty soon. He's actually built 2 base runners, that's interesting. He's making a 3rd. We could play with it, yeah. Make it a bit longer to power up systems. I guess I've just kind of gotten used to it how it is, but I don't really know how it would impact the game. Because, like, the thing is, we never noticed on the Conf carrier that it takes longer to power up, did we? So, maybe it doesn't make a big impact. I don't know. One thing that's a little funny, I think, is that powering up to level 1 takes the same amount of time as powering up to level 5, I'm pretty sure. And I think that you can actually... Yeah, that's true. Power up the speed and get out, right? Yeah. Yeah, the dangly bits. Are you referring to, like, these things over here? The arms? I don't know what to call them. When, you know when carriers get up on top of each other, like the Conf carrier is higher than all the other ones, and then like the arms are like wrapped around it. It's very erotic looking. Although it's curious because that usually means that Conf is losing the game, you know, because they can't use the missiles anymore. But these are actually assault railguns, by the way. Oh, look at that! It's a production cruiser. MarchWaden's going full 3 base, man. He doesn't want to end this too quick. Hey, it's Majiir. I burped. I can smell the 3-0. It's only a little further. The extraction zone. Yeah, look, there it is. I like how he extracted them all at the exact same time. That does make me pretty happy. Oh no, I've got the customary hiccups. Right as Majiir Paktu of all people shows up, I've got the yips, you know? He's like my personal hero, so it's very hard to meet him. Yeah, that is a good question though. If you're freaking Majiir Paktu, why are you playing Galzian, man? Aren't those the guys you like trekked across the desert to get away from? You've got some explaining to do. You've got some explaining to do. Rail Armor 3. Gosh dang. Yeah, Majiir still doesn't even have ref mode. Oh, like I said, MarchWaden's taking this really slow, but this game is pretty much just over. Eventually he'll figure out how the F2 button works, and then he'll just win. I think that's my... Oh look, just carry. He heard what you were saying. Majiir Paktu does not like the scrutiny. I'm laughing to hide the fact that I'm like nervous as heck. Dart maneuver? No, I didn't dart maneuver. Well, number 3 actually doesn't do quite as much as I would expect here. I think the big thing is just the hit points that it gives them, right? Assault railguns definitely don't like fighting into armor, but the armor ups only give you like 3, so it's not really too much. Certainly it'll be an advantage. I mean, I don't mean to take that away, but it's not quite as big as I would have thought it would be. High ground pretty good. Yes, I think that's true. It gives assault rails 50, I believe. Well, no, maybe it's 75, because these guys have 650 and these guys have 800. It might be that one of them is 50 and one of them is 100, but I don't know. Ah, there we go. Yeah. This assault chip has to make itself a bit scarce here. Assault railguns actually outspeed them, so this guy's kind of dead if he wants to chase it, but there might be some losses on the other side if he goes for that route. Yeah, and that's gonna be what happens. Majiir's tech and rail armor, to his credit, you know, he's fighting back. What you really need here, though, is a heavy railgun. Because heavy railguns fight assaults really, really well, right? Just, you know, you outrange him by, like, a lot, so you keep this guy back on the dunes over here, and you can just kind of do whatever you like. And that's kind of what MarchWaden needs, too, unless he wants to go for, like, bombers or something, But if high ground will go a long way, Majiir would actually win this fight. Oh, boy. This is a lot of assault railguns, jeez. I was commentating on that last game we saw with Majiir versus Houston. It's like, people don't build these things really that much, but this is pretty fun to see so many of them. Yeah, that's what I was expecting too. This is what I was saying though about like ending the game like as decisively as you can, because like there is a risk you can end up in this kind of situation where it's not really clear that you're winning anymore. But I don't know, these are still the game-winning artifacts, and there's a lot of assault railguns here for MarchWaden. But if you're a Paktu fanboy, you know what it's like to have hope. Uh-oh, here comes a Connev carrier though. This just came out of nowhere. He needs to kill off these base runners here. Go on. Oh, I got away with 65. No. No! Oh, and now he has the attack order set. Oh gosh. Okay, this is okay. He's gonna get this one. Yeah, and it's actually probably good to kill this assault ship, but he needs to worry about this guy extracting because he has. Yeah, this one's gonna get away because it has the smoke ability. MarchWaden's gonna use that now, which is just a little bit early, but with the carrier here, it's gonna be real tough to stop this base runner. Well, he's got. Oh, wait, is that? Oh no. I didn't realize that was happening. Yeah, he's gonna have to make some kind of Hail Mary against this base runner here, but this is a pretty powered carrier, so smoke ability needs to be used though. Okay, yeah, he's gonna stand still, which is the right play. If you move, there's sometimes a window to get shot at. Oh boy. Smoke is gone. Oh, the base runner goes down! He did it! Okay, he's still definitely not out of the woods though, that's for sure. Yeah, I agree with that. It'll be exciting to see what he can do in the lower bracket. And yes, he was in Group A. That's the hardest one. Yeah, by the way, A-game, I think I decided for next tournament we should just just not worry about how it's a little bit ugly. Like, just have Group A be the group of death, and then advance 10 to upper bracket instead of 8. Because I agree with you, it's not very entertaining to see like a new player like Darth Saban, for example, just kind of get murdered. So, not to mention it kind of happens in all the groups. But the Rust was strong with this one. Yes, it was very strong. And Majiir will forfeit. That is indeed what you would expect. The game's definitely over at this point. But he fought back pretty well. I mean, man, like when they took the trades around this hill here, like he actually just totally wiped the army there. That was pretty surprising. Again, I think this is a reason why when you get like the dive on the carrier, it's good to try and end the game as quick as you can, because you really have kind of just won. But you can let your opponent come back if you're not careful. So yeah, let's jump into game 2 here. If I can find it. There it is. And this one's going to be Majiir's pick. And it'd be tight end passage. Alright. Yeah, I mean, we never see this map either. It's one that you have to be aware of, though. It often shows up in the bigger series, like the best of 7s and the finals. Because, you know, it's an interesting map. It's got tons of space in it, right? Rush distance is really long, surprisingly. So even though it seems like a pretty good aggressive map, it's actually very hard to do, like, say, AV rushes. It just takes them like 2 years to get across the map, so... this is a map where you kind of want to go macro and then try and like make a 2-base timing or something like that. It's pretty cool. You can also do some interesting funny rushes where you like ninja PCs around, but that's always a little bit coin flippy. And I agree, tight end passage kind of grew on me too. It used to be, I would pick it quite a bit because, I would pick it quite a bit for these like funny cheese timings that I would play on it, even though I knew that they weren't really very good. But now I realize, like, it's kind of a fun map. It's definitely not the most fair if somebody like can camp up like the enemy 2-base. It just kind of feels like it's over, but it's kind of a fun map. So see, because it has passage in the name. Anyway, for Majiir, we do have Sandskimmer Fab once again. Yeah, there's like an Aurora Borealis going on, which is weird because we're like near the equator of Kharak. I don't really know what this is all about. Some kind of like tight end carrier thing. I don't know. By the way, this is kind of a funny like mistake I think that they made. Like the tight end carrier, I think is supposed to be about the size of like a coalition carrier, which is about the same as Conf, you know. But here it's like twice as big at least. No, it's like 3 times as big. Maybe 4. Anyway, my point is, it's gigantic for some reason. Anyway, maybe they made him bigger back then, who knows. That was a long time ago, right? Before Kharak got turned into glass. Spoiler alert. It's gonna be ref mode for Majiir. I'm not usually a big fan of this where you get skimmer fab and then you get ref mode. At least here he gets some scouting information, and curiously he's actually pulled the skims from MarchWaden for quite a while here. Yeah, they just don't make carriers like they used to, you know? That is probably the real reason. I mean, look how huge this crater is. Like, you kind of want to explain this with some giant ship crashing into it. And it is pretty freaking cool, I won't lie. But it's definitely weird how big it is. It's very strange. It's gonna be a soul chip fab for Majiir as well. He's not interested in dying like last time. But yeah, this is a lot of skims. So this is a good move though. You always want to like bring your carrier back to the main base if you're getting attacked like this, because your opponent will be on one base as well. He may have LDMs, but oh look, he can even scout that with the sand skimmer. It's not good though if you lose eco, so and this one is gonna go down. And it's a lot of sand skimmers here, so it's a little hard to fight against. He's got a soul chips building now. If I were him though, I would really take power 1 here, because having the range up would be quite nice as well. The soul chips are hitting the salvagers too, but they haven't quite killed it off. Could be a nice carrier block angle here, but it looks like Majiir is not quite gonna get it. He's trying for it though. This little chip pops from Majiir. It's got a bit of high ground, but it's actually getting hit as it comes out of the PC, so... Not to mention it's a 3-on-1 here. That one is gonna fall. Uh-oh. Now it's looking like a PC kill, most likely. Which, I mean, we probably should have seen last game, but I mean, hey, better late than never, right? Sandskimmers actually should be tasked probably to kill the salvagers off here, and then he can just kind of take everything else out. That's actually true, but just curious, that's by the way. Yeah, PC goes down. Salvagers will fall as well. And that'll pretty much be all she wrote for Majiir. I mean, eventually he'll just decide to GG, I assume. Yep, there it is. I can smell the lower bracket. It's only a little further. Oh, got him. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll move on to the next one.